Day 2 at Wimbledon has been completed and Novak Djokovic is back on our tennis courts again, but we've had some early shock exits. Andrei Rublev out and reigning champion Marketa Vondrousova, she's out too.
Hey, we're back for another Roundup podcast. This one as late as ever in GTL fashion. And I'm going to start with what you said about Marketa Vondrousova because I feel that is maybe the biggest story of the day. She was the reigning champion. She had a nice section in the draw, which meant that we both pushed her quite far. And it wasn't to be for her. Went out at the first time of asking in the first round. And it's remarkable, really, how someone can go all the way last year and win the tournament. And then, apart from that, all of our other Wimbledon of times, all the other years, she's always gone out in either the first round or the second round or struggled. How can she have just one blip of such a good tournament where she goes and wins it, and then the rest of the time not very good?
Very, very disappointed, I have to say, with Vondrousova. I think that it's up there, well, with one of the worst performances. It has to be. When you're a reigning champion, a lot of expectation coming in, and she was feeling the pressure, I think. She's obviously suffered like a bit of an injury coming in. She had a bad fall in one of the tournaments just leading up to Wimbledon. And like she says here, she said, it was tough defending the title. I feel that everybody expects you to win. And saying practice was fine. Today I was a bit scared because of my leg too, but I don't think that was the reason. I felt nervous from the start.
Yeah, pause it there. Yeah. Nervous from the start because I think this is important to speak about. It wasn't an injury. I know you said about the fall. It was nothing to do with that. Her opponent, remind me who it was again because my mind's gone blank.
Balsas Monero.
Brilliant. Really, really good. I believe she's quite young as well. Not got much grass court pedigree, but
21.
was incredible. I heard the BBC commentary team speaking about her because I did watch this one live, and she was absolutely formidable from minute one to the end. Everyone was thinking after that first set that she's going to drop off, but she probably got better as it went on. In fact, so credit to her. But the problem with Marketa today was purely an internal problem. And what I mean by that, it was mental, it was nerves, she was timid, she was unable to hit her shots. She was saying in the locker room she saw photos of her when she won. It had become too much for her. She could not handle the occasion. And this is a prime situation where after winning something, you've then got that expectation, and she just didn't like it. You've got to remember, she won this last year, and I don't want to discredit her too much because Jabeur bottled it. Because if Jabeur had anything about her, there's no way she would have won that final. I don't think her tennis is particularly good enough to win Grand Slam titles, but yet she was able to win one because I thought the opponents didn't take their opportunities and were really poor on the occasion. This was her time to do an Ons Jabeur, but in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, last year it wasn't a great final. I think, like you said, she won it based upon just being the best of two bad people in a final, to be honest. And this, I mean, she's feeling the pressure. It's a big moment for her winning Wimbledon, coming back as a reigning champion. Some people are cut out for it, some people aren't. You saw how Alcaraz, how he dealt with it, coming back being reigning champion. Like a duck to water, just turns it on when he needs to. And this is it's just different levels. I mean, Vondrousova, I don't doubt that she has a few little problems, a few injuries, maybe slightly mental problems as well. But it's no excuse. When you're a top tennis player, you can't be like underperforming in the first round of Grand Slams. She's number 6 in the world. She's a Grand Slam champion. And look at the difference between what Rybakina done since winning Wimbledon and what Vondrousova's done. I mean, it's night and day, really. But like Rybakina looks like an absolute world beater in every tournament she plays, whereas Vondrousova,
every tournament she's fit and able to play.
Well, exactly. Every tournament that she actually completes, But Vondrousova completely the opposite. And, Rybakina, she had a fantastic performance. A bit of an ugly start to the match where she went down a break. But then after that, she absolutely blitzed her opponent. So, very disappointed with Vondrousova. I'm a bit ashamed I put her so far in my bracket, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I think the only saving grace is I've got Iga advancing from that section, and she did play today. Quick word on her. She won in straight sets like I predicted. So everyone's saying that's a really tough match against Kenin. I never saw it as that, and didn't certainly plan out to be that way. So brilliant for Iga. I think that's now 70 matches in a row for
Insane.
first round or something ridiculous. She's got some crazy stat I saw earlier. So fair play to her. But the big story I want to move on to next is not Iga because it was straightforward, and it's Andrei Rublev, and it's probably bigger on paper than the Vondrousova one. The only thing Vondrousova had was the fact that she won last year. But in terms of Rublev, a number 6 seed against Komisarna, who I believe is a clay courter who's playing his first Grand Slam event. He's not used to this stage. Is it the first main draw?
Second match ever on grass.
Yeah.
This is
his first win on tour.
Yeah. I mean, it's just insane, really, this win.
To be knocking out the number 6 seed, Andrei Rublev, who got to the quarterfinals here at Wimbledon.
Last year, yeah. I mean, this is how ridiculous this is. Andrei Rublev, I mean, even in my bracket, I didn't see him breaking his duck and getting to a semi-final in this tournament, but I had him going further than this. I mean, this for me is
Nobody would have seen this coming. This
is an absolute disaster for Andrei Rublev right now. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but he really needs to get it together. Like, I don't want to be somebody who jumps on somebody when they're already down, but we've seen he's his own worst enemy. When the chips are down, he starts hitting himself with his racket rather than trying to G himself up. And then we see occasions like this. This is not the first time we've seen Andrei Rublev injure himself with his racket on a tennis court. But he obviously can't hit the ground because you are not allowed to hit the turf at Wimbledon, that's for sure. He doesn't normally hit the hard courts either, but he starts hitting himself, which is self-harm in front of a crowd of thousands of people, which I don't know. Like, there's a lot of people out here, like Ben Rothenberg's come out and said this needs to be a code violation, even under the general unsportsmanlike conduct umbrella. Rublev can't be doing this if for no other reason than it's disturbing for fans to watch. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't really agree with Ben most of the time. I find him a little bit annoying and jumping on the bandwagon on things. But one thing I would say is he's probably right here. I feel like it probably is unsportsmanlike behaviour. I think it's gone far too far. If anything, I sympathise for him because I think he's mentally unwell. I think it's deeper than just outbursts on his performance. I think he doesn't have much control over his actions. I think he needs help, quite frankly. Someone needs to really put an arm around his shoulder and help him, whether that is a break from the tour or some kind of psychology
or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Psychiatrist to speak to him. Something needs to happen. You can't continue like this. It's not getting any better. It's probably getting worse. Agreed. He is there on the court, just going absolutely berserk. And like you say, not the first time. It's happened pretty much every time he loses. We even saw him at UTS in an exhibition going a bit crazy when he's asked questions. Sometimes, is he playing into a character or not? He doesn't seem sane. He needs some help. And it's really horrible to see because he is a very friendly, nice guy off the court. But the moment he's on the court, I don't know what happens to him. And he's certainly really struggling. I've sent you a tweet now, and this is since he got defaulted in Dubai. That was the big time where he had the massive outburst. And you can see his kind of form since that event. It's been really, really shocking. Something we don't expect from Andrei Rublev. His forehand alone can get you to the second week of every slam, and it can get you deep in all the other tournaments.
And
but he's not able to do it, and his serve as well. He's got so many good natural ability when it comes to tennis where it's difficult to beat him. But you can see Indian Wells didn't reach round of 16. Miami didn't reach the round of 16. Monte Carlo, same there. Barcelona, same again. He then went on and won Madrid, which people wasn't expecting. When he won Madrid, he had a problem, I believe, in his mouth, some kind of
I know,
abscess or
yeah,
something. Do you
I think
remember?
he had like it was like it was like it wasn't like tonsillitis or something. It was like something like that, like a throat abscess or something, wasn't it?
Some kind of infection where he couldn't even eat and was eating baby food to get through it. And that's when he won. He won in these conditions where he had surgery on his throat and it was terrible what he had. And yet he won Madrid. He then following that, same again, didn't reach round of 16 of Rome, Roland Garros, Halle. And now Wimbledon didn't reach it again because he went out in the first round. And some of these events here I'm mentioning, they're first round exits against opponents you'd expect him to beat every day. So it's not about his natural ability or his tennis. This is a purely mental problem in why he's unable to win these matches because there's no reason to explain this. It's not a one-off incident. It's happened time and time again. He's seriously unwell. And today's outburst is frankly not acceptable. People don't want to see that. It is horrible to watch someone capitulate.
Yeah, I mean, do you read anything into like you see he was champion in Madrid, and he was only champion when there was something taking his mind off of everything else. Like obviously this illness was much more of a focus and taking over his thoughts than the actual tennis was, and he was able to block out the other demons that have been stopping him winning. I feel like
Maybe, yeah.
it clouded.
It could be a good assessment there, Ben.
I mean, it's just strange, isn't it, that as soon as he was unwell, he was able to focus better, which is crazy on his tennis. But we've got another side of the coin here. Obviously, we've got to see both sides. We've got tennis media here saying, I feel bad when players are under so much stress and end up hitting themselves like this. It makes me think of Mikhail Yuzny. How is Andrei Rublev's team helping him overcome moments like that? I felt really bad for him. So that's the other side of it. Like, people are concerned for him, and it's not just like, yeah, we want him to get like, oh, you've got to have like sports conduct things against you. People are concerned for Rublev's physical health, mental health, and actually
His
like
overall
him.
well-being.
Yeah, exactly. And what's his
But
team
I
doing?
blame his team big time because I feel like they've got to take some kind of responsibility.
Definitely.
Because they represent him in that box, and if say he's saying, "Oh, I'm not going to get help, I'm okay," then they should walk away. And if they're not trying to get him the necessary help, then they're not a very good team. So there's no winning for them. I don't want anyone to say, "Well, it's not their fault. Andre's his own man. He does his own things." They're representing him in his box, and they're supporting him and building towards his career and adding value to him. So they need to be making these tough decisions as well and supporting him in the right way. And it doesn't seem like they're helping him too much because the incidents keep happening time and time again. So I blame them as well.
Yeah, I mean, where do we go? Let us know in the comments section below. What do you think should be the next step for Andrei Rublev this year? Do you think he should have a breakaway? Do you think that he needs to change some of his team? Let us know your thoughts because we'd love to hear it, and we'll discuss it on day 3's podcast as well. I think we need to speak about Komasama as well. We can't just obviously speak about Rublev going out, but this is a massive moment for Francisco as well. I mean, considering he played in Eastbourne, he lost a broom. And then he comes into Wimbledon, and then in his second ever match, he's never won a grass court match, and he beats Andrei Rublev. I mean, last year's quarterfinalist. What a moment for him. I mean, this is a massive moment, and it's overshadowed a little bit. Right, Rublev's taken away a bit from his win by all of these antics a little bit, so I feel a bit bad for him. But hopefully he still performs well in the next round and you don't get one of those just big result and then just a flop next.
You will do.
That's sad then.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'd see him losing the next match comfortably. I think Rublev could have been picked up against anyone today and he would have lost.
Yeah, I think he defeats himself when he's in this type of mood. That's the problem, isn't it? So, I mean, the next in the draw for Komasana, it's Walton. So, one which winnable, but Walton...
It's a winnable one, but it's a loss, in my opinion. I didn't look at Komasana and think, wow, you're great. Did very well to beat Rublev, but still, I feel Rublev was just there for the taking. I think Walton would have beaten Rublev as well today.
Yeah, and talking about being there for the taking... I think Vic Capriva felt a bit like that on centre court today because we had the return of the man with the strapped up knee because he's just recovering from surgery, and that is Mr. Novak Djokovic, that's right. He started his campaign and his first match, and we were all watching to see, is he going to be okay? Is his movement going to be good enough? 6-1, 6-2, 6-2, and easy as you like. Looked great today.
Looked fully fit, fresh, ready, competitive. Victor Privor looked stage fright. He just stood there and was petrified of Djokovic. Didn't fancy the battle. Didn't want to take it to him. But credit to Djokovic. Really good thorough performance from him. I think it's a statement victory. People now are going to be looking at Djokovic as what we have always known him to be previous to this last 6 months. The old Djokovic. And on this showing, he is a contender for the title. I think we've underdone him slightly in some of our pre-match analysis before the tournament. We didn't put him in our top 5. Probably should be in there based off what I saw today, because this is a fully fit, hungry, good Djokovic. It wasn't a shaky start, which I was expecting. Even Victor Privor, I don't think he's that good on grass, definitely. And I don't think he's a world beater regardless. I was expecting a closer match because Djokovic, I didn't think was going to be at the races. He is at the races. He put out a tweet saying 1 down, 6 to go, Nole fam. He's there. He's ready. He's waiting. And we're in for a really good tournament.
Yeah, it made me so happy to see him moving around with very little problems. That was the main thing that I was watching today. I had the match on, just keeping an eye just to see, is he putting himself at full stretch on rallies? Is he running around? I think that he looked really good. He didn't have to play his top tennis, and that was the main takeaway from today. He did enough. He served well. I think his serve looked great, and I think that his passing shots, some of them are just like, it doesn't matter who you're playing. I mean, I know that it's only Victor Privor, but some of them he just made him look silly with some of these passing shots, and it was just vintage Djokovic back. I can't really judge how good he is based upon that performance, because it was Victor Privor, probably first time on centre court against the best tennis player. So, I mean, the jury's out. I'm waiting to see when we get to Djokovic in a third round, maybe, because I know next round...
You have to wait for fourth, mate. His draw is so straightforward that I don't give him third play. I mean, third would be potentially
Popperin.
My friend Popperin, the one I interviewed.
He won today. Go on,
won today,
Alexei.
which is good. So one more victory, and then potentially it will be Djokovic. I just don't see he's going to beat him. I think the real challenge starts from the fourth round. I'm
looking at just someone who can test him, though. I'm not looking at somebody...
He will test him more.
Yeah.
But we're going to see maybe... I just don't see him beating Djokovic, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big ask. Yeah, I mean, the tools aren't enough.
He did push him at the Australian Open, so probably, I know what you're saying, that will be the first time we get to see where Djokovic is really at.
Yeah, I mean, his next match will be against the Brit who went through today, Fernley. So he knocked out Molo Kanyas in straight sets as well. So well done to Fernley, and he will be rewarded by a match probably on centre court against Novak Djokovic next. That'll be exciting for the British crowd. Fernley did really well. I mean, it was one of those matches, couldn't have had a better draw, really. A Spaniard in the first round on grass. I mean,
and now Djokovic to bow out on 1-1-1. That'd be nice.
But there was somebody else on centre court today, and it was like the goats were just sort of milling around in centre court, and of course it was. No, someone bigger than Nadal was there.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said goat. Apologies.
Yeah, it was a goat, but it was... a rocket was on the court. Well, in the stands at least. Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan was there cheering on the tennis goat, Novak Djokovic. This is great. And then had this to say about Djokovic, saying, everyone, whether you play football or golf, tennis or hockey, no matter what sport you play, everyone looks at Djokovic. He's at the height of the best athletes in any sport. He is simply a champion of champions. I mean... and they're the two men there.
I feel like Ronnie says these things for a bit of attention, though, because he's teased it up where he can say, yeah, he's the GOAT, he's the great, he's the champion of champions across all of the sports. So then people can go in the comments, be, no, that's not true. You're the champion of champions. He wants people to say that to him. I think he likes that. And then he'll play it off like, no, don't be silly. I'm just there potting balls, around a table. Nothing like Djokovic.
It's easy.
But then really he wants that whole debate where people
Maybe
are saying,
does.
is it him, is it Djokovic? These two certainly have claims for that title. Both incredible athletes and have changed the whole landscape of their respective fields. I think they're pioneers in their respective sports.
That's right, indeed. There's just a quick picture of Djokovic's next opponent, Jacob Fernley. You'll be able to see more of him during the match, however long it lasts. I think Djokovic should be okay, though, and probably will get him out of there in straight sets based upon today's performance. Another person I want to just quickly touch on. I know
could
my
be your younger cousin there, similar beard.
Why not? I'm a lot better at tennis than me, that's for sure. Somebody I wanted to touch on, which was he's been playing pretty well recently, and he came into this tournament. I can't remember who dropped out of the tournament, but he came in as a replacement, and it's Mpetshi Pericard. And he's been having a great run of form coming into the tournament. And now he's knocked out Sebastian Korda in a crazy 5-setter match. Look, I mean, 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, 6-7, 6-3. I mean, what a brilliant match, and well done to him.
Some of the best serving stats the tennis world has ever seen, the opening few sets. I think he was averaging 140 mile an hour. It's like insane numbers from Mpetshi Pericard, one of the best servers, most powerful servers. Shelton's has got a run for his money with this guy. And third top 20 winner 2024. He is getting better and better, and glad to see him in the tournament because I think he can go far.
Yeah, he's an exciting young talent as well. It's good to see some new players breaking through this year. And
someone who can play, I think he will always be good on the grass because of his serve. So it adds that whole. He's filling a void of Kevin Anderson, Milos Raonic.
He's
come in to replace them, I feel.
Yeah, we need some people like that.
John Isner.
They mix it up a little bit.
Although he's more than just a serve bot. I feel like he can play tennis maybe better than the likes of a John Isner.
Sam Querrey?
Yeah.
Throw him in there as well. We've got to speak about, this is all a lot of good news that we're talking about. We've got to touch on something which is slightly worse news, and that is we were waiting for the big announcement. Is it going to happen? Isn't it going to happen? And it's not going to happen. Sir Andy has pulled out of the singles, and we're not going to see Andy Murray at Wimbledon ever again, I don't think. And he'll be playing the doubles only. No more singles for Andy Murray. And there he is waving. There's been a lot of his highlights being shared around on Twitter today of when he won the trophy, his first ever breakout moment at Wimbledon. It's quite emotional just seeing a lot of those moments that he gave.
He's a tennis legend. He's a legend. Certainly at Wimbledon as well, with the British crowd. Everyone will always remember their magical Murray moments, but it's the right thing to do. We touched on it yesterday, and I think I'm glad he's pulled out in a way. I wouldn't have wanted to watch him struggle through that match against Mahach.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not worth it. I mean, and I like the fact that this will be his last tournament at Wimbledon with his brother as well. They've been awarded a wild card into the men's doubles, which, I mean, if there's ever a just wild card in any Grand Slam event ever, I think this is the one. So Andy and Jamie go together. Can they win it? I mean, if they won the doubles, that would be probably the best send-off, I think, for Andy Murray in his career.
Yeah, not a bad one.
Not a bad one. Right, let's just touch on a few of the other results. We can just have a quick look down and just have a quick chat about some of these others, and then we will wrap it up. And you can see, sadly, Jubb went out. There's another came back from 2 sets down there. Seboc Wild.
That's who withdrew, by the way. Davidovich Fokina, you can see there.
There it is. Yeah. That's it. But you called it, Seboc Wild. I mean, it's a very tight match there. That third set tiebreak pretty much kept him alive. Going down there, any other ones?
Let's speak about Hurkacz because he dropped the first set. He slipped over. There's a bit of worry. We spoke to him, and I've really tipped him to go far. We've both got him going to the final of Wimbledon, beating Novak Djokovic. And after that first set, I was there scratching my head thinking, I've really ruined his whole career. But he lives another day. And hopefully that was just a little blip and he'll be all right now for future matches.
I think your words were just ringing around in his ears during that first set, and you pushed him too far into the tournament before he'd even played the first match.
He was asked after the match, do you think the rain delay helped you at all in this match? He was like, no, I don't really like the rain.
I know. Oh, he is a bit of a character, isn't he? Good old Hoobie. We do love him. So hopefully, he improves. I expect him to be better in the next match. Hopefully the rain stays away. Shelton
improved as the match went on. Impressed with him how he ended. He ended really strong.
Yes, he did.
He ended how I thought he was going to start, but that's good.
Surprised Lestienne took the first set as well. And there's normally this on the first day. We always forget that there's normally a first set which doesn't go the way of the favourite. And going down, Zverev through in straight sets. Fees through, did pretty good. Holger Rune looked really good today as well. He's somebody I think that could be sneaking through this draw. And Tsitsipas through. Draper shocked me by going to 5 today, but he went through, which was the main thing.
Another one to speak about, I think it was nerves, if anything. Struggled with the occasion a little bit. He was far better than Elias Emeyer. He's a lot better tennis player. I don't think Emeyer ever won in a Grand Slam, and maybe once or twice at the very top of his career, but he doesn't win much at all. And Draper to go to 5 at Wimbledon, a bit disappointing. I did catch the end of it, and in the 5th set, Draper was just the more dominant player, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's just, like you say, a lot of expectation and nerves just for the first match, and then he'll be better as the tournament goes on. Norrie through, another Brit, and Taylor Fritz, somebody I've called for a semi-final in this tournament. He went through against O'Connell. Quick look at some of the ladies. Dart through, well done. Straight sets. Rybakina, we touched on her. Pegula also going through.
Pegula looking really good. I just want to speak about her. She was probably one of the standouts, I feel, because it was just the manner and the way she won. 6-2, 6-love, but looked really confident and feeding herself. But with Pegula, she can really fool you into thinking she's got chances, and then the moment she plays someone good, she just collapses. So I don't want to get too ahead of it, but if she can produce like she did today, honestly, she's got chances of winning Wimbledon, you know. You know, but saying it could be like someone who wasn't expecting. Maybe it is a Jessica Pegula.
Well, we normally put her in parallel with Rublev on the men's side. Remember, neither of them have made a semi-final. So could this be the year?
She will. I think she's got a good shot because she looked good.
Well, we'll wait and see if she continues it. The match I did watch earlier on today was Katie Balter versus Tatiana Maria. Obviously, Maria did so well. Was that a couple of years ago? Get to the semi-finals, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And this match was so close. Balter was down 4-1 in the first set and then pulled it all the way back, and the crowd were really roaring, and she was making Maria run ragged all around the court and managed to win that tiebreak. Well played. She shows a lot of fight, Katie Balter, and I really liked this. This was a hard-fought first-round victory, but well done to her because she's the British number 1, and I think she felt the pressure of being British world number 1 on court today, but she pulled through, so well done.
Yeah, saved our brackets big time because we both have Balter going far, so that helped us out.
Well, this one ruined my one. I got Tomjanovic going fast. 1 and a 2 against Ostapenko. I went for the upset. Didn't happen, did it? Terrible pick from me. And just looking down at some of these other ones, well done to Wozniacki.
Leylah Fernandez quickly was down a break in the first set, and I was starting because I think I've got her in the semis, I believe.
Yeah, going far.
So that was a big one, and I was like, oh no, this is not going to help. But thankfully, she pulled through against Brossetti, and I think she's got some tough matches coming up. But I feel she can do it. Why not? When Fernandez got to the final of the US Open, there was all 3 sets and tight ones, so that gives me confidence.
Yep. And a couple more people to just speak about. Wozniacki, I mean, absolutely creamed Parks, who couldn't find the court today. I don't know. She's been in amazing form coming in, and amazing. I think she had about 11 match winning streak or something crazy like that, but terrible today. And Wozniacki took advantage. And Ons Jabeur, last year's finalist. She's made the last 2 finals in a row. Can she make it 3 in a row? She started this one pretty strong, 6-3, 6-1 against Uchijima, and looking good. But that's pretty much it for our day 2 roundup.
Yeah, Jabeur was put on court 13, I believe, which was
unlucky for some.
Very strange. Let me just confirm it was in fact 13. It might have been 11, but I was just shocked when I saw that. I was like, "Why? No, court 14. Sorry, they put her on even worse than 13." She's been to the final 2 times in a row, and they put her on court 14. Very strange choice by Wimbledon. I don't understand it, but yet it didn't affect the performance at all because she got it done easily.
Trying to help the nerves for Jabeur, maybe keep her away from the centre court for the first.
Maybe she requested it because it's just wild that they put her on court 14.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it either. But yeah, well done to Jabeur. Hopefully she can keep it all together, and we see her in the, second week I'm expecting from her. That's the main thing.
Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and check this out on Spotify if you just want to listen to us. We'll be bringing you these every single day. Tomorrow, what we're going to be looking out for is the Italians, because we've got Berrettini versus Yannick Sinner, and this is, day 3 we're speaking about a match like this? It's insane, really, that it's come so soon. I mean, in other years, it could be a final, but it's not. It is a second round. Sinner's going to have it tough. You think Sinner can win, but I think it's going to be a close one. Let's see how Berrettini's back is. That's the only thing giving me a lot of hope. I will be rooting for Yannick Sinner, though. Yeah,
we've got Alcaraz back on court against Vukic tomorrow as well. And if you want to check out us interviewing some players, we spoke to Poprin, we spoke to Hurkacz, we spoke to Bublik and Shevchenko. Go sign up to our Patreon as little as £3 a month. It helps support the channel, and you got some cool content on there too.
Yeah, and they're all in, right? Apart from Shevchenko.
Yeah, 1 gone, 3 to go.
One of your ones, you've ruined him. You didn't give him a pep talk.
Well, he got 5 sets against Humbert. I mean, it was pretty good on grass, I think, for him.
They wasn't to be. Anyway, thanks everyone, and see you tomorrow.
See ya.